Detroit, Baltimore tonight. Woo! High total. Higher than what we saw in Chicago, Dallas, which everybody had going over. This total is higher. BetMGM 53.5. Don't see any 54s right now. That's our peak. Maybe there's like one offshore
South
that's at
Point.
54. Okay.
That's
South
it.
Point
South
is.
Point. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I do see it. Yep, you're right. The number 4.5. The Ravens are your 4.5-point favorites. So, there is a range. Like there are some rec books that are at 5.5, some at 5, but let's call it 4.5. That's where BetMGM is at right now. Man, that number's come down a little bit. Earlier in the week, it was touching 6. Came down quickly. That's because of the Ravens' injuries that we do have on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of questions about the Lions players that are going to be available, like their left tackle, Taylor Decker. He's listed as questionable. Middle linebacker, Jack Campbell, questionable. 2 starters in the secondary, corner DJ Reed, free safety Kirby Joseph, both listed as questionable. So a lot of things up in the air for the Lions. However, on the Ravens side, Isaiah Likely, the tight end, is out. Linebacker Kyle Van Noy, impactful player, he's out. Matabuke, he's out. One of the top defensive tackles in the game. So the Ravens defense is probably going to be hurting. But one thing we know about this team is they have depth. They have impact every level of that defense. I think they'll be okay, but the total suggests otherwise, Sam.
The Ravens have scored 40 and 41 in back-to-back weeks. So the hike on the total makes sense. And if you really think about it, Baltimore dropped 41 on Cleveland. Now, granted, that wasn't all on Baltimore's offense. Cleveland certainly helped. There was a defensive touchdown. There were some bad turnovers. The Browns went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, and Baltimore kind of kicked it into overdrive. But I understand the support for the over. And I told you last week, Kenny White makes this game 35-31, Baltimore. So when a guy like that, who's been making numbers for 40 years, says 35-31, you're like, holy cow. That's a big number, and it's much higher than the total, which, oh, by the way, opened at 50.5, 50.5. Now we're 53.5, 54. Sharps came in, bet over. Lower numbers, though. I mean, they were betting over 51, 51.5, 52. The pile-on has been mostly public action. On the side, when the Westgate hung this number, it was 6 last Sunday night, 2 Sundays ago. Baltimore -6. The initial push there came on the dog. Lions plus the points. But is that because people believe in the Lions or because the Lions just scored 50 against Chicago? Right? The NFL market is very reaction driven. A lot of the moves in the market are predicated on what just happened. The Lions looked unbelievable against Chicago. And now you're going to give that team 6 points. Okay, I'll take the points. I know Crack and those guys came in and bet Detroit. They took 6. Yep. Fine. Now we're 4.5 at MGM, and you mentioned the total 53.5. Do you have the stones to go under 53.5? I don't know that I do, but I'm not betting over 53.5.
So we knew that Bears-Cowboys was going to be the most popular over yesterday. It goes under. Needed a lot of things to happen, but it goes under. This is as of days ago, so we know how popular it's going to be tonight. As of days ago, the second most popular total is this game. And you know what side they're on.
Over.
Might go to 54. Might. With all that money piling up by the time we get to kickoff.
Chris is trying to write a bet. At 54, any book right now holding a 54 is just, they're daring somebody to come in and bet under. He needs under so bad. Under money. I mean, they all need under in the game because everybody's betting over. But to move the 54, he's inviting you to bet under. He needs an under bet.
Okay, so here's where I'm at on the game. I want Baltimore to win because I bet them to win last night. I just, right before KC, like, look, I had KC Survivor. I figured KC was going to win the game. I just wasn't sure about covering the number, and that's a game that we've got to touch on too. I don't know that they should have covered the number the way that game played out, but I mean, the Giants are just so god-awful. I did a KC Baltimore moneyline parlay plus 114 yesterday, like right before the game. So I'd like Baltimore to win to get that home. I'm thinking about the under. That's under consideration, but a lot of what I'm looking at in this game is tied to Ravens stuff. Derrick Henry, after an awful performance, tough matchup. You said that's a really good defense with the Browns. That's accurate, and they still scored 40 plus. Well, Henry didn't do anything. 11 carries, 23 yards. Whew. So his total's 84 and a half rushing yards. Maybe you're getting a little bit of a bargain there. And I didn't want to go touchdown. Longest rush, that went way down. Last week, it got up to 20 and a half. So then he does nothing against Cleveland. They bring that down to 17 and a half. That's probably going to be popular because more times than not, he goes over on the longest rush. And I was looking at Lamar anytime touchdown, plus 170. Feels like a good number in a very high total game. So a few props that I'm taking a look at all line up on the Baltimore side.
The Lions really struggle against mobile quarterbacks too. That's been the one area where they've always had issues in this regime. It's been those dual threat quarterbacks. Now, a lot of teams are going to have problems with a guy like Lamar Jackson. He's one of the best players in the league. I went back, I just pulled it up because I was trying to remember the score at half of the Baltimore-Cleveland game. I knew it was low. It was 10-3 at half, Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
10-3. And then Baltimore scores 31 in the second half. Cleveland got 14 in the second half. So that's a lot of points. And, eventually one of these Ravens games are going to stay under because their defense is pretty legit. It doesn't take much to get under 54. I mean, to get over that number, as attainable and possible as it is with Goff and Jackson and all the weapons, it just takes one bad quarter or one 10-minute pocket of no touchdowns or a 4th and goal at the 3 and the team doesn't convert. And now the other team has the ball at the 3 and having to go 97 yards. It doesn't take a lot to keep a game under 54. It takes a ton to get over, though. I mean, these offenses have to get so many touchdowns to get over that. And I think you're always going to see, 54 get bet under. Scoring in this league is down. Offense is down. Points are down, all that. But when you have two elite offenses, people want to bet over. I would not be betting over 53 and a half when I could have bet over 50 and a half, 51 and a half, 52. At 52, that ship sailed for me. It was just over. I'm like, oh, well, I missed the best of it. Not going over 53 and a half.
Okay, a lot so far from us on the Ravens side. What about the Lions side? As we're entering game 3 for this, I'll call it a new Detroit era because you have new coordinators, a lot of new coaches, a lot of new stuff. I'm still kind of stumped on what they are. I know a lot of people want to look at that Chicago game a week ago, 52 points. See, they're at home. It's still the Lions. You still got to trust the Lions. They're very similar. It's the same players. I'm not there yet because they were home. They're not home tonight. And then it was against the Bears. Bears have their issues there, and they've had the Bears number, even though they have struggled with mobile quarterbacks. Look, it's Goff on the road. It's Goff outdoors. It's Goff in prime time. Like, a lot of this stuff is going to scare you off a little bit. It scares me. And I think that's part of the reason that the total's so high. We have to remember the Detroit side. People thinking they're going to get theirs. Well, the Lions didn't get theirs when they went on the road in week 1 at Lambeau Field. I don't know that they're going to do it this week at Baltimore. Tough start. Chicago's a bad team. I get it, but it's still a divisional matchup. You go Green Bay, Chicago, and now Baltimore. And that's one of the reasons that at least I was down on the Lions at the beginning of the season. It was because this is going to be tough, and this is one of these tough spots for them. I don't know what to expect. I think that's probably why on the props angles, I'm looking Baltimore because I have a better handle on what they're going to do as opposed to the Lions now going on the road after a big-time performance against an elite team.
Honestly, just funnel me the room bets, and then we can make our decisions from there. That's all I want. I need the room bets.
Here's the room bet. I mean, we know it's over. We know it's way over. They're all going to be over. I could get to under.
I have a prop that I know I don't want to say for a fact, but I know will probably be in the room. It's St. Brown over 72.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
If that's not in the room, I don't know the room. That one's in there. Personally, I like Laporta. If I was looking for a prop, I'd go Sam Laporta over on yards. I see some 42.5 in the market. I think that's a much more likely bet that I get to than St. Brown. The high side of Laporta is 47.5. BetMGM actually has the best number at 42.5. So there you go. Bet over 42.5, not 47.5. But I feel very good about the room coming in, having watched St. Brown last week against Chicago. It's going to be in the room. St. Brown over on yards will undoubtedly be one of the most popular looks this week. This game tonight.
My guess for the room will be Lamar rushing. Right?
Sure.
Lions struggle, mobile quarterbacks. Lamar, big game. This team hasn't played. They haven't played each other in a couple of years. Lamar had a big performance in that game. I think it was a 4-touchdown game last time they played, and that game was also in Baltimore. I could see that Lamar and maybe Gibbs. I think they'll be on Gibbs.
Derrick Henry minus 250 to score a touchdown. That's it.
So stupid.
Minus 250.
I know. Idiotic. Like, what are we doing here?
But it'll hit. It'll hit. And you know that all these parlays are going to have, because like this is how people bet now. People don't want to just bet the Lions +5. They want to bet 3 guys to score a touchdown. So these parlays are going to start like this. Okay, Henry. All right, let me check that box. Oh, well, Montgomery likes touchdowns. I'll check that one. And then, how about DeAndre Hopkins? He was good 5 years ago. Check. And now I have a 3-leg parlay at 11-1. That's how people bet now. It's crazy. All I get now, it used to be money line parlays. 3-4 years ago, it was money line parlays. I like all these teams to win. Now it's just touchdowns. I want these 3 guys to score a touchdown. Bang, bang, bang. And most of those parlays are going to have Derrick Henry as a perceived free cheese leg at minus 250.
The other thing that I see, I don't know if you see it a lot, is a lot of legs put together, but they're like easy things to hit. Oh, Derrick Henry, his number's 84.5. Okay, I'll do Derrick Henry 50.5. Even though it's like minus whatever to the moon, right? Like you put a bunch of those things together, and I don't know. That doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, okay. And then CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. Like CeeDee Lamb 20+ is a loser, and you lose the whole thing because of that. The more and more stuff that you put together in any single bet, I just think the less likely it is to hit, even though people talk themselves and see, I got this parlay. I'm like, well, what did it pay? +150. Well, okay. Like you could have had that with one result.